It's 10 a.m. on Friday here in Seoul. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Hwang Ji-hye. We start with domestic politics. Korea's three major parties have agreed to set up a special body to review and then cut lawmakers' privileges. The move comes amid growing public anger over allegations of deeply ingrained nepotism and corruption. Park Ji-won reports.
The floor leaders of Korea's three main political parties agreed late Thursday to work towards cutting privileges enjoyed by lawmakers. The issue will either be discussed at a new special committee at the National Assembly or at a new consultative body, although its exact form has yet to be decided. The move was sparked by growing outrage over a series of corruption allegations involving lawmakers. The co-leaders of the minor opposition People's Party stepped down this week, taking responsibility over allegations two of their lawmakers took kickbacks. Some ruling Saenuri Party and main opposition Minju Party lawmakers are also in hot water for hiring close family members at their offices. The three parties have also agreed to review lawmakers' immunity from arrest. Currently, all sitting lawmakers are being protected by the Constitution from being arrested or detained without parliamentary consent. The specifics will be hammered out at the newly formed body. Park Ji-won, ARIRANG News.
South Korea, the United States, and Japan are calling on the international community to actively implement UN sanctions on North Korea. The UN ambassadors of the three countries led a debate at the UN headquarters on Thursday, along with other officials and experts on the assessment and challenges ahead regarding the implementation of Resolution 2270. Seoul's Ambassador Oh Jun said North Korea's 4 nuclear tests are evidence of the regime's unwillingness to abide by international rules. He added that making Pyongyang's nuclear development difficult and costly is the only way to curb its nuclear ambitions. U.S. envoy Samantha Power said it was the responsibility of member states to prevent unreported or illicit transfers to the regime. Japan's Ambassador Korobesho emphasized that the issue is not just a threat to immediate neighbors like Japan, but to the entire world. Korea's top financial regulator has warned there's a possibility Britain's decision to leave the EU will have a long-term impact on global markets. Chairman of the Financial Services Commission Im Jong-yong says uncertainties will linger for some time, as no country has ever left the EU. He added that local markets are stabilizing after taking a hit in the days directly after the referendum. The International Monetary Fund also said overnight that Britain's vote poses the biggest risk to the global economy, calling on EU leaders and other policymakers to take decisive actions. Korea's current account surplus streak is now into its 51st straight month, meaning the country's trade balance has consistently been in the black for well over 4 years. The Bank of Korea says the surplus came in at around $10.3 billion in May. That marks a significant rise from the $3.3 billion surplus posted in April. The central bank attributes the spike to the slower pace of decline in exports. Korea's outbound shipments plunged over 10% on year in April, but dropped 6% in May. Korea's exports slid again in June. The Trade Ministry says outbound shipments fell 2.7% on year to $45.3 billion last month. It marks the 18th straight month that exports have fallen, but the rate of decline was lowest since June of last year. Imports tumbled 8% on year to almost $33.7 billion, also falling for the 18th straight month. With that, the trade surplus in June came to over $11.6 billion, extending the surplus streak to 53 months. In Britain, nimble political maneuvering by his Leave co-campaigner Michael Gove has left Boris Johnson out in the cold, forcing him to pull out of the race to replace David Cameron as Prime Minister. Gove has a good chance, but Theresa May has emerged as the favorite, and she insists there will be no revote on Brexit. Park Jong-hong reports.
With the political turmoil swirling in the wake of the referendum result, speculation about a possible revote has been flatly ruled out. British Interior Minister Theresa May, who is the Conservative Party's frontrunner for Prime Minister, says she will honor the people's decision.
Brexit means Brexit. The campaign was fought, the vote was held, turnout was high, and the public gave their verdict. There must be no attempts to remain inside the EU, no attempts to rejoin it through the back door, and no second referendum.
The no revote stance is shared by other leading contenders in the Conservative Party, including Justice Minister Michael Gove and former Defense Minister Liam Fox. Once considered the favorite for Britain's top political post, former London Mayor Boris Johnson has sensationally pulled out of the race. In a short statement Thursday, Johnson said that after consulting with his colleagues and in view of the circumstances, he wouldn't throw his hat in the ring. Johnson's announcement is the latest in a series of massive political bombshells since Prime Minister David Cameron announced last week he would step down in the coming months. Pundits say Johnson's decision has significantly boosted Theresa May's chances of succeeding Cameron. Park Jung-hong, ARIRANG News.
Now taking a brief look at the weather, it's overcast right now in Seoul, a precursor to the monsoon rain we're expecting from this afternoon. The Korea Meteorological Administration says there is a 90% chance the skies will open this afternoon as a monsoonal front creeps northward. It's set to pour down on Korea's southern Jeju Island this morning. A heavy rain advisory was issued there a few hours ago. The heavy rain will be accompanied by thunderstorms and lightning in some areas. It will really bucket down in Korea's central and southwestern regions. Some parts of Jeollado province could see up to 150 millimeters today. The peninsula is expected to be under the influence of the monsoonal front until next Wednesday, so make sure to keep an umbrella handy until then. And that brings us to the end of our newscast. More updates coming up at noon Korea time, so stay tuned and goodbye for now.